Chapter 176, Woyang City is worried. Lin Shenduo said, Yizong, the reservation for the meal the day after tomorrow has been made. Mr. Chen will have to wait until the day after the next to make a reservation. Yi Hong said in surprise, the reservation has been made? Yes. Chen Jian reached over and took the phone, saying, Master Lin, I apologize for any previous offense. I will bring a gift when I visit to apologize. Lin Chen hurriedly said, Mr. Chen, you're exaggerating. Your father is getting old, and I can understand if you want me to go to the imperial capital. Chen Jian, Master Lin, your cooking is amazing. Can I book a few more meals? Mr. Chen, this is not possible. In the first month of opening, I will organize a few more meals, and in the following months, there will be 3 to 5 meals per month, with a maximum of 1 meal per person per month. You can ask Mr. Yi for details. Lin Chen said. Okay. Chen Jian returned the phone to Yi Hong. Yi Hong hung up after chatting with Lin Chen for a while. Thanks, Brother Yi. Chen Jian said. It would be a pity not to be able to taste Lin Chen's cooking, and offending Lin Chen would have a big impact on the future. It was only a matter of time before the bigwigs above would taste Lin Chen's cooking. Many foreign bigwigs would also like Lin Chen's cooking. Lin Chen's connections would be extremely powerful in the future. The Chen family has good connections in the officialdom, but if they don't get along with Lin Chen, some people may gradually distance themselves from them in the future. By then, their connections may weaken and their business may decline. Brother Chen, I just don't want you to misunderstand each other. I respect you very much, and I also respect Master Lin. Yi Hong smiled. Chen Jian used to call him President Yi, but now he has changed to Brother Yi, and he has also changed his title. Brother Yi, what does Master Lin like? I will prepare some gifts and apologize in person. His level is indeed worthy of our visit. Chen Jian asked. Yi Hong thought for a moment. I don't know, Master Lin is a very easygoing person. By the way, Master Lin loves his daughter very much, and her daughter, Cece, is over 2 years old. Chen Jian nodded. The gift for Lin Chen's daughter must not be lacking. Brother Yi, has your wife recovered? I can see that your mental state is better than before. Chen Jian asked. Yi Hong's face showed a little smile. Master Lin gave us an ancient recipe, and my wife's condition can be delayed by taking medicine according to that ancient recipe. Master Lin is a very, very good person. Chen Jian looked at Yi Hong in surprise. He knew that Yi Hong was richer than their family, with assets of more than 20 billion yuan, and yet he spoke so highly of Lin Chen. Brother Yi, you can only go once a month, and I'm afraid it will be difficult to make an appointment in the future when there are more people. Chen Jian said, inviting Yi Hong to sit down. Yi Hong nodded, that's right. Although each table costs 1 million, Master Lin doesn't rely on this to make money. Whoever can make a reservation in the future will have to depend on connections. Master Lin will pick a few from among those who made the reservation. Chen Jian smiled bitterly. Then I've messed up. I have to make up for it in terms of connections. Our old comrade in the family is a bit picky about food these days. Yi Hong laughed and said, you can pack up your food like we do. Each table has 10 dishes, and we take the soup home with us. If you eat alone, you can save it for 10 meals. Chen Jian nodded. What else can I do to get closer to him? Yi Hong pondered for a while and said, you can also recommend someone, and you should consider the person you recommend carefully. If he has a problem, it will be difficult for you to make an appointment. How are your relations with the Wu family? Chen Jian, Wu Yangchang is the family head of the Wu family? I have met Wu Yangchang, but our relationship is just so-so. Yi Hong Dao, just so-so is good enough. His son almost got Su Mengyao into trouble back then, and was sentenced to 3 years in prison. Now it's up to him whether to reduce the sentence or not. Chen Jian's eyebrows shot up, is that true? It doesn't matter whether the sentence is reduced or not, he might as well reform himself while he's in there, for the good of society as a whole. Yi Hong laughed, that's what I was thinking too. As the minutes passed, Chen Jian made several phone calls. His connections in the officialdom were much stronger than Yi Hong's, and the effect of these calls would be even better. Wu family. Drip. Wu Yangchang received a call from a lawyer he had hired. Lawyer Feng, what's the matter? Wu Yangchang asked when he answered the phone. The lawyer he hired was Feng Giyi, a gold medal lawyer who had handled many cases. Feng Giyi was now in charge of Wu Haoyu's release from prison. When he first took the case, Feng Giyi was very happy. He was 99% sure of Wu Haoyu's situation and could get Wu Haoyu out of prison quickly. He would get 1 million yuan when Wu Haoyu got out. Boss Wu, you'd better find someone else. Feng Yi sighed on the other end of the phone. Wu Yongqing frowned. Lawyer Feng, what do you mean by that? Are you going to give up halfway? Feng Yi, Boss Wu, I have learned some information. Wu Haoyu bullied someone in prison, so his chances of having his sentence reduced have decreased. He may not be released within the next 2 months. Wu Yongqing frowned. Haoyu's behavior in prison has been acceptable, and he has not bullied anyone, has he? Feng Yi was silent at the other end of the line. Wu Yongqing, I understand. With the new force involved, this kind of thing is fluid, isn't it? Feng Yi said, I'm glad you understand, Boss Wu. My advice to you, Boss Wu, is to stop messing around. If you want to continue, find someone else. After saying this, Feng Yi hung up the phone. He had been involved in many cases and could feel the danger in this one. Shit. Wu Yongqing's face was gloomy. Drip. He dialed the phone number of his younger brother Wu Yongfeng. Second brother, what's the situation over there? Wu Yongfeng, I still haven't been able to get in touch with him. I'm going to go directly to Lin Chen's house and ask him. Wu Yongqing took a deep breath and said, just wait a little longer, there's been a new development. Lawyer Feng has withdrawn, I don't know what other forces have stepped in. Wu Yongfeng's face twitched slightly. Big brother, the Song family won't withdraw, will they? If the Song family withdraws, we'll be in an awkward situation. Wu Yongqing said in a deep voice, don't speculate, and don't say anything rash. The Song family is still very powerful. After hanging up the phone, Wu Yongqing was also a little worried. The Song family will definitely be able to hold on when they can, otherwise if it gets out in the future, it will make people look down on the Song family. When they can't hold on, the Song family will definitely run away. Brother Song, there's been a bit of a new development. Wu Yongqing went into the study and made a phone call. I'll handle it. The person on the other end of the phone finished speaking and ended the call. Wu Yongqing frowned. The Su family definitely did not have the energy to do this. If they did, they would not have encountered trouble in the past. What kind of background does Lin Chen have? Wu Yongqing thought to himself. From what he had learned, Lin Chen's parents were very ordinary, and Lin Chen had been ordinary since he was young. Could it be that he had once saved the life of a big shot? Sigh. Wu Yongqing sighed. He could only choose to believe in the strength of the Song family for now. Chapter 177, Gu Lao's Shock. Night fell, and Lao Su arrived in the urban area of the imperial city. He tightly held a painting tube in his arms. Xiao Xiao, drive more steadily. Lao Su ordered, saying that it was fine for him to get a little injured, but he didn't want the painting he was holding to get damaged in a car accident. Okay, Lao Su. The driver Xiao Xiao slightly slowed down. Around 8 o'clock, the car entered an old residential area, which was guarded by armed police standing guard outside. Xiao Xiao, wait in the car. Lao Su got out of the car with the painting. Knock, knock. It wasn't long before Lao Su knocked on a door. An elderly man in his 70s opened the door. Lao Su, what treasure have you found that you can't wait until tomorrow to show me? You had to come today. Lao Su smiled and said, Gu, if I come tomorrow, I'll have to wait until you finish work. Besides, this is really a treasure, and I'm not sure I can leave it in a hotel room. Come in. The 70-something-year-old man said. Normally, people of this age have already retired. But he is of high enough rank that he has not yet retired for the time being. He and Mr. Su participated in the same war and both like traditional Chinese painting, so their relationship has always been very good. However, Mr. Su has never asked him for anything. A gentleman's friendship is as light as water. Of course, although the relationship is not mixed with any utilitarianism, Mr. Su's previous promotion was naturally related to him. Wherever Mr. Gu is, even if he doesn't say anything or do anything, this relationship will have some kind of impact. Make a pot of the best Longjing tea. Mr. Gu instructed the family nanny. Yes, sir. Mr. Gu took Mr. Su into the study. The neighborhood was relatively old, but the room was still very nice. The study was not small, and it was spacious and bright. Gu, let me make a statement first. I borrowed this by writing an IOU. If you want to borrow it for a while to admire it, you also have to write an IOU. Laughed Mr. Su. Mr. Gu was intrigued. What treasure is it that you need a loan note for just to borrow it for a while? Mr. Su carefully took the painting out of its frame. Brother Gu, this painting hasn't been framed yet, and I'm afraid if I ask someone to frame it, they might damage it. Mr. Su slowly unrolled the painting. Then he used paperweights to hold the ends down. Mr. Gu looked at the unrolled painting that Mr. Su had just unrolled, and he quickly immersed himself in it. At his age, he really felt something looking at a painting like this. It took 5 minutes before Gu woke up. Su, how long has it been? Gu asked, glancing at the clock on the wall. Su, about 5 minutes. Gu was amazed. Who painted this? This painting surpasses the best ancient paintings. The only thing it lacks is the patina of age. Gu, look at the poem above it. Su reminded him. Gu looked at the poem inscribed above it, and once again he was immersed in it. A few minutes passed before Gu woke up, and this time he looked at the clock hanging on the wall himself. What a painting, what calligraphy! Is this the work of Master Lin Yu? Gu exclaimed. I have given him a signed book from Lin Shen before, and Lin Shen's signature has a similar effect, but it can also make people immersed. Su nodded. Gu said, is the painting in calligraphy both by Master Lin Yu? Yes. He painted it in my home. He also gave me some pointers. Gu Lao looked at Su Lao in surprise. What does Master Lin Yu look like? I'm quite curious, but I didn't have anyone look into it. Su Lao smiled and said, Gu brother, his name is Lin Chen, and he's not yet 25 years old. Ha? Gu Lao was shocked. So young and already so strong at calligraphy and painting? By the way, his fairy tales are also very impressive. Su Lao nodded, he is a top genius. Or rather, his talent has surpassed the bounds of genius. Gu Lao was beaming. China is going to flourish. Nowadays, our country, China, has very good military strength, but our cultural influence is much weaker. As a result, the heavens have sent such a genius. Su Lao, Gu brother, I have one concern. Gu Lao's smile on his face faded. Are you worried that something will happen to him? Yes. When a tree grows tall and straight, the wind will surely come to destroy it. Can some foreign forces just sit back and watch his influence grow? Such a genius is hard to come by in 1,000 years, but it is very easy to destroy such a genius. Su Lao's eyes revealed a worried expression. Gu Lao, I will communicate with some comrades. A genius like Lin Chen can enjoy special protection. He didn't know that the National Security Agency was already protecting Lin Chen. Gu brother, this is for the best. Su Lao said. Gu Lao continued to admire the painting. Lao Su, we have been painting for decades, but compared to Lin Chen, we are all just painting blindly, the level of difference is too great. What has Lin Chen taught you? Su Lao said. Lin Chen's home. Lin Chen and Su Mengyao are watching TV on the sofa, with Su Mengyao's head resting on Lin Chen's shoulder and Lin Chen putting an arm around her waist. Honey, should we hire a babysitter? You have to take care of Cici, and you cook and clean. Su Mengyao asks. She also cleans when she has time, but she probably works about half the time now, and it's mostly Lin Chen. No need. Lin Chen shakes his head. How can his physical fitness improve if he doesn't work? With his current physique, a little work won't tire him out. Honey, I'm afraid you'll tire yourself out. Su Mengyao whispered. Lin Chen said with a smile, don't worry, your husband has great stamina, you'll see. Su Mengyao. Are you sure you don't want to hire one? Lin Chen, I don't like having outsiders in the house. Our house isn't big, we can clean it ourselves. Su Mengyao nodded lightly. My dear, your birthday is the day after tomorrow. How do you want to spend it and what birthday present do you want? Su Mengyao asked. Lin Chen, haven't you already given me a birthday present? The private kitchen was a birthday present from Su Mengyao. Su Mengyao giggled, who said you could only give one present? If you want another present, I'll get it for you. Sister? Honey, you can't tell the difference between the king and the queen. Lin Chen reached out and tickled Su Mengyao. Giggle. It tickles, honey, stop it. Su Mengyao twisted her body to avoid Lin Chen's hand. Suddenly, Lin Chen felt a very soft touch. Su Mengyao's body stiffened. Her face quickly turned red. Think about what other birthday gifts you want. I'm going to bed. Su Mengyao finished and got up, quickly walking towards the bedroom. The revolution is not yet successful, and comrades still need to work hard. Lin Chen muttered to himself. He went back to the study, where he had to start his evening study. It is worth mentioning that there are more books in Lin Chen's study. Su Mengyao found him more books, and Lin Chen also bought some books he wanted online. Professor Liu, I found a small problem while reading one of your books, and I would like to exchange ideas with you. A few hours later, Lin Chen messaged another professor. With this, he had already messaged 5 professors. In addition, he has discovered some other problems, but he cannot find the author's contact information, or the book author is foreign, and he is too lazy to contact them. Dad. At 2 o'clock in the morning, the door was pushed open. Lin Xiaoqian walked in. Cici, why aren't you sleeping? Did you wet the bed again? Lin Chen asked. No. Lin Xiaoqian shook her head. Lin Chen got up and looked outside. The door to the master bedroom was open, the lights in the master bedroom were not on, and Su Mengyao was still asleep. Chapter 178, Lin Xiaoxi was criticized. Cici, why aren't you sleeping? Lin Chen asked as he picked up Lin Xiaoxi. Lin Xiaoxi said in a baby voice, I miss Daddy. As she said this, she glanced secretly at Lin Chen's open computer. Lin Chen. Cici, do you want to play with Daddy's computer? Tell Daddy, did you think about this before going to sleep? Don't lie. Lin Xiaoxi blinked her eyes. Daddy, I only thought about it for a little while. Lin Chen reached out and pinched her little face. If you think about this before going to sleep, you'll wake up easily in the middle of the night. You shouldn't do this in the future. If you want to play with Daddy's computer, Daddy can find time to play with you during the day. If you don't go to sleep at night, you won't grow tall in the future. Lin Chen quickly turned off the computer after he finished speaking. Don't bother your mother, you'll sleep with Daddy tonight. Lin Xiaoxi nodded. Lin Chen quickly carried Lin Xiaoxi to bed. Dad, I want to hear a story. Lin Xiaoxi said sweetly. Lin Chen, you can't hear a story at this hour. Dad will sing you a lullaby, so don't talk and go to sleep quickly. Lin Chen is now a masterful singer, and his lullaby was quite effective, and Lin Xiaoxi quickly fell asleep. Time passed quickly, and it was the next morning. Su Mengyao woke up. Lin Xiaoxi was not in the bed, and Su Mengyao was shocked. Had Lin Xiaoxi fallen out of bed? Su Mengyao immediately checked the bedside, but did not see her. She quickly got up. Honey, have you seen Cici? Lin Chen had already got up, and Su Mengyao hurriedly asked. Lin Chen, she woke up in the middle of the night and wanted to play on the computer, but I didn't let her, so I turned off the computer and took her to bed. Phew. Su Mengyao let out a sigh of relief. Lin Chen laughed. The house is so small, and the windows and balcony are all closed, how could she possibly run away? Su Mengyao, I'm afraid she'll open the door and go out. Cici is very smart. Maybe she'll open the door. And maybe a thief will come in and take her away. Lin Chen reached out and hugged Su Mengyao. Honey, it's impossible for a thief to come in and take her away. If a thief came in, I would definitely know. There are state security agents watching for thieves, so they can't even get in. And even if they did, they're not invincible. You said that Cici might have opened the door herself and gone out. She is very smart and should not have done that. But just in case, I will install a bolt on the door at a higher place. Lin Chen comforted. Su Mengyao nodded lightly. Cici actually went to your place in the middle of the night to play on the computer. When she wakes up, I have to give her a good talking to. Lin Chen smiled. She is very curious at her age. It is better to let her out than to keep her in. I have told her that I will occasionally take her out to play a little during the day. I don't usually turn on the computer during the day, so subconsciously she wants to get up in the middle of the night to find me. Don't you dare criticize her. Su Mengyao pouted, you just protect her. I haven't seen you criticize her for so long. Cici is very good, so there's no need to criticize her. Lin Chen smiled. Su Mengyao said, in the past, I criticized her quite a bit, most often at mealtimes. But now she doesn't have this problem anymore. Lin Chen said, in the past, you were the only one taking care of her, and you had high expectations for her, so naturally your requirements were stricter. Su Mengyao whispered, in the past, she wasn't as good as she is now, and I was a little anxious. Now she is much better in every way. You still did a good job raising her. Lin Chen muttered to himself, they complement each other. His nanny system relies on Lin Xiaoxi, and at the same time, he has become stronger, which in turn has made Lin Xiaoxi even stronger. Lin Shen said with a smile, "You also have half the credit." "No, I don't." Su Mengyao shook her head. "Lin Shen, who said that? Doesn't genetics have to pass on half of you?" Su Mengyao. "So that's how she got half the credit." "You bad guy, let go of me, I'm going to go check on Cece." "I'll let you go, but first let me kiss you," Lin Shen said with a smile. "No kissing, you haven't rinsed your mouth." "Who said that? I gargled as soon as I got up. Then I haven't washed my face yet." Lin Shen kissed Su Mengyao on the cheek. "I don't mind you." "How about a kiss there too?" "No way." Su Mengyao's pretty face turned red as she pouted. Lin Shen let go of Su Mengyao, who quickly turned around and went to Lin Xiaoxi's room, where Lin Xiaoxi was still sleeping soundly. Half an hour later, Lin Xiaoxi woke up. After washing up, they both sat down at the dining table. "Cece, the day after tomorrow is Dad's birthday, have you thought of what birthday present to give Dad?" Su Mengyao asked. She had told Lin Xiaoqian 2 days ago that Lin Shen's birthday was approaching. "I have thought of something." Lin Xiaoqian nodded. Su Mengyao asked, "What present do you want to give Dad?" Lin Xiaoqian said sweetly, "I will give Dad the mother I have." Su Mengyao said. Lin Shen was delighted. She, that won't do. Mom is Dad's wife, so you're giving something that already belongs to Dad again. Who does something like that? Lin Xiaoxi shook her head. "Dad, it's not like that. I'm going to draw Mum and give you the picture of Mum." Su Mengyao and Lin Shen smiled at each other. "So that's how it is." She, why do you only draw Mum?" Su Mengyao asked. "I know what Mum looks like." Su Mengyao, "We have a mirror, so you can see what you look like in the mirror. We also have photos." Lin Xiaoxi stuck out her tongue. "Mom, it's hard to draw two people, so can I just draw you?" Su Mengyao tapped Lin Xiaoxi on the forehead. "Can't you just say you don't want to draw two people?" Lin Shen laughed. "Xiaoxi, you draw your mom first, and if you have time after that, you can draw yourself on a separate piece of paper, okay? That way, Dad will be even happier to receive two gifts." Lin Xiaoqian nodded repeatedly. "Dad, can I play on your computer for a bit later?" Su Mengyao said impatiently. "Cece, Mom hasn't talked to you about this yet. You mustn't get up at night and go to Dad's place to play on the computer. Otherwise, Mom will definitely spank you." Lin Xiaoqian looked over at Lin Shen. Lin Shen smiled. "Sisai, don't look at me. What you're doing is wrong. If you do this, even Daddy won't be able to protect you. And maybe Mummy will even criticize Daddy. Daddy can occasionally play with you for a little while during the day, but that's all." Lin Xiaoqian said weakly, "Mummy, I won't do it again, so please don't be angry, okay? Getting angry makes you ugly. Daddy won't like you then." Su Mengyao. "If Daddy doesn't like Mummy, who does he like?" Lin Xiaoxi, "I like the pretty auntie." Lin Chen. Su Mengyao looked at Lin Chen and said, "Honey, is that true?" Chapter 179, A Gift from Chunjian. "Cece, Mommy is also pretty when she's angry. Just like you are cute when you cry. Mommy and Daddy will never stop loving you when you cry." Lin Chen pinched Lin Xiaoxi's little face and said, "Cece, why did you say that?" Lin Xiaoxi, an old lady told a girl that if she cried, she wouldn't look pretty and she wouldn't like her anymore. "Did you hear that when you were playing downstairs?" Lin Shen said, "The old woman was just trying to scare the girl, but Dad thinks it's not nice to say things like that, because it makes the girl feel sad. Mommy and Daddy will never stop loving you, and they will never separate, so you don't need to worry." Su Mengyao looked at Lin Chen. She hadn't really thought about it before. But Lin Chen had noticed that there was a problem, and hearing things like that could make Lin Xiaoxi feel insecure. "Daddy, won't the old woman stop loving the girl?" "Of course she will." Lin Xiaoxi was puzzled. "Then why did that grandmother say that?" "That sister will be sad." Lin Shen thought for a while and said, "In the past, our country was very poor, and many people were unable to go to school and learn knowledge, so they didn't know some truths. The old grandmother probably didn't know that saying that would make that sister sad. If someone told you that if you didn't listen to them, your parents would abandon you, what would you say? Would you be sad?" "Lin Xiaoxi, I would say what you said is not right. My parents would never abandon me, so I wouldn't be sad." Lin Chen smiles and says, "That's right. We shouldn't be sad or upset because someone said the wrong thing. We need to make our own judgments.
Lin Xiaoqian nods, hmm.
Su Mengyao says, Cici, that's why you need to go to school and learn knowledge, otherwise you won't understand reason.
Mom, that's not true.
Lin Xiaoqian shakes her head, Dad will teach me.
Dad, can I not go to kindergarten in the future?
Lin Shen looked at Su Mengyao and said, Honey, Shishi's birthday is September 20th, so she can start kindergarten a year later.
Su Mengyao said in surprise, You mean, Shishi will start kindergarten a year later, and you will take care of her for another year? Lin Chen nodded.
What I teach her will not be any worse than what she learns at kindergarten.
Su Mengyao hesitated and said, But in that case, won't it delay your career and keep you stuck at home? Lin Chen laughed and said, I quite like that. Besides, don't you have a career in our family? If we both work hard at our careers, who will take care of the family? Su Mengyao, honey, you are the head of the family, you decide.
I support you bringing Lin Xiaoqian to and from kindergarten yourself. Then I'll bring her for another year. I haven't spent enough time with her yet.
Lin Shen said with a smile. If Lin Xiaoqian goes to kindergarten, the time she spends learning with him will be greatly reduced, and his improvement will slow down, and naturally Lin Xiaoqian's talent improvement speed will also slow down. In the past, Lin Shen hadn't discussed this with Su Mengyao because their relationship wasn't deep enough.
Su Mengyao had thought that Lin Xiaoxi would no longer be a problem once she started kindergarten.
But now it was different.
Their relationship was deep, and they were engaged.
Yay! Lin Xiaoxi was overjoyed. After breakfast, Su Mengyao went to work.
Lin Chen took Lin Xiaoxi to practice Tai Chi first, and then taught her to fold paper airplanes. Dad, let's go destroy the monsters.
Lin Xiaoxi took Lin Chen's hand and went into the study. He turned on the computer and taught Lin Xiaoxi how to play.
5 minutes passed and he began to acquire hacking skills.
After about 20 minutes, Lin Chen said, Xiaoxi, that's enough for today. Playing for too long will hurt your eyes.
He really wanted to quickly enhance his hacking skills, but enhancing skills was not as important as Lin Xiaoxi's health.
Daddy, can we play a little longer? Lin Xiaoxi asked coquettishly.
Lin Chen shook his head, No, Xiaoxi.
When we're playing outside, it's fine if you tell me you want to play a little longer, but not when we're playing on the computer. Okay. Lin Xiaoxi said with reluctance. Don't you like playing in the water, Xiaoxi? Daddy will take you swimming.
Lin Chen picked Lin Xiaoxi up and kissed her.
He had to teach Lin Xiaoxi to swim while it was still summer. At a little after 2 in the afternoon, Lin Xiaoqian was taking a nap. Drip. Lin Chen's phone rang.
He had saved Chen Jian's phone number, and the call was from Chen Jian.
Lin Chen answered the phone. Mr. Chen, is there anything I can help you with? If there's something you need to cancel the appointment, no problem.
Chen Jian hurriedly said on the other end of the phone, Master Lin, canceling the appointment is out of the question.
I've arrived in the Magic City, and I'm already near your neighborhood. I want to come over and apologize to you in person. Is now a good time for you?
Lin Chen hurriedly said, Mr. Chen, you can come, I have time now, but there's no need to apologize.
Master Lin, then I'll come visit you. Lin Chen told Chen Jian the room number.
A few minutes later, a Lamborghini entered the community, and Chen Jian was sitting inside the sports car.
He drove the car to the underground parking lot of Lin Chen's building.
Carrying 2 toys for Lin Xiaoqian, Chen Jian went upstairs.
Master Lin, I'm really sorry about what happened before.
I bought 2 toys for your daughter, Xiaoqian. Lin Chen smiled as he heard Chen Jian's words.
Lin Chen took the toys. Mr. Chen, Xiaoqian is taking a nap, so I'll thank you for the gifts on Xiaoqian's behalf.
I heard that Wu Haoyu won't be able to get out for 2 months, so thank you.
The two sat down and Chen Jian said, It's good for society as a whole to keep people like Wu Haoyu locked up for a while.
Master Lin, I didn't know your level before, and I've offended you with my words, so please forgive me.
With that, Chen Jian took out the key to the Lamborghini. Master Lin, this is for you. It's a car from my collection that I haven't driven before. This Lamborghini is parked downstairs. Chen Jian said.
Lin Chen hurriedly said, Mr. Chen, I can't accept this. You are a guest who has supported my business, and it is inappropriate for me to accept such a valuable gift from you. I will accept the toy you bought for Cici, but I cannot accept this. Chen Jian, Master Lin, this is just one of the cars in my collection. At my age, I can only collect it for fun, but you are still young and can play with cars.
If you don't accept it, I will just stay at your house. Anyway, the food at your house must be much better than outside. Lin Chen.
Mr. Chen, you're such a big boss, and you're still going to be a cheapskate.
Chen Jian smiled and said, since you're not going to accept it, I'll just stay here and eat and drink for free. You decide what to do.
Lin Chen sighed lightly and said, Mr. Chen, I'll accept the car, and I'll give you a piece of calligraphy as a return gift.
Lin Chen usually writes a few pieces of calligraphy.
And for these pieces of calligraphy, Lin Chen asked Pei Lao to frame them.
Soon Lin Chen went to the study and took out a painting tube. Mr. Chen, please take a look and let me know if you like it. If you don't like it, I'll get you another one. Lin Chen said. Chen Jian curiously poured out the calligraphy work inside. He unfolded it on the coffee table. It said the 4 characters Hai Na Bai Chuan. Chen Jian quickly immersed himself in it. He saw many rivers and the sea. Chapter 180, Legendary Driving Skills.
A few minutes passed and Chen Jian came to his senses.
He looked at Lin Chen with shock in his eyes. Master Lin, are you the online Lin Yulin? Well. Lin Chen nodded. Chen Jian took a deep breath. Good guy, Lin Chen is actually the online Lin Yulin. He instantly felt that $1 million a meal is really worth it. Master Lin, my dad is your fan. He is the head of one of your fan clubs. Chen Jian said.
Lin Chen was puzzled. Where did I get a fan club from?
Your fans formed it spontaneously.
You don't have a Weibo account or Douyin account, so they had to set up a group. My dad has 5 groups with 2,000 people in each.
Chen Jian said.
Lin Chen looked weird. Your dad is still chasing stars at this age? Chen Jian said, my dad likes calligraphy, and I have bought him a lot of it. The most expensive one costs tens of millions, but that one is much worse than this one of yours.
It's not even in the same league.
Master Lin, I cannot accept this piece of calligraphy.
I will give you a car.
It is inappropriate for you to give me such a valuable piece of calligraphy. Lin Chen shook his head and said, many calligraphies are expensive because they have historical value and the authors are dead, so they are very rare in the world.
I can write hundreds of these every day.
As long as I don't die, the price of my calligraphy will not be very unreasonable.
Chen Jian looked hesitant.
President Chen, you can take this piece of calligraphy, but I have one request, you cannot sell it for 3 years, you can only keep it for yourself to look at.
Lin Chen said.
Chen Jian looked at the calligraphy in front of him and said, Master Lin, I really like this work, and my father would like it too, so I'll shamelessly accept it.
If you have any problems in the future, just let me know.
Lin Chen nodded with a smile. Chen Jian gave him a car, and he gave him calligraphy in return, which seemed like a quid pro quo, as if it was a waste of effort, but in fact it wasn't. By doing this, they had established a friendship.
Master Lin, don't worry. I definitely won't sell this. If I did, my father would break my legs. Chen Jian said. Lin Chen, your father is really a fan of mine? Chen Jian nodded, absolutely.
My son's stargazing was criticized by my father. He hates stargazers, but after reading your signed book, he was completely won over. He now tosses around his fan group every day, full of energy.
Master Lin, do you have a Weibo account? Or how about you set up a Douyin account? Lin Chen Duo, let's talk about that later. He doesn't want his life to be affected by a sudden rise in popularity. And if his popularity suddenly rises, his danger will increase.
Let's talk about it when he becomes a martial arts master. Right now, Lin Xiaoxi practices Tai Chi twice a day for half an hour each time, and he can gain an hour of experience every day. If Lin Xiaoxi perseveres, in a month or so, he will become a martial arts master and his strength will be much stronger.
Dad. Lin Xiaoxi woke up from her nap. She rubbed her eyes and walked out of the bedroom. Dad, who is this grandpa?
Lin Chen smiled and said, Cici, he is Grandpa Chen.
Hello, Grandpa Chen.
Lin Xiaoqian said very obediently. Chen Jian hurriedly said, Cici is really obedient.
Master Lin, I envy you, having such an obedient daughter. Master Lin, let's go to the vehicle management office.
I have connections and can get it done quickly, but I still need to go there.
Lin Chen nodded.
His driving skills are already close to legendary level, but he doesn't have a sports car, and as a young man he still quite likes sports cars.
Su Mengyao has a Porsche 911, but it's Su Mengyao's.
Their relationship is quite good, but financially they are still separated nowadays. Mainly because the Su family is too rich. Although he also has some money, it is too far behind the Su family. It is good to be financially separated now, and he doesn't want to be called a soft breadwinner by others in the future.
Cece, let's go out for a while. Dad will go wash your face first.
Lin Chen picked up Lin Xiaoxi and kissed her. Soon Lin Chen and the others set off. Chen Jian drove the Lamborghini, while Lin Chen drove his own car. Not long after, a system voice sounded in Lin Chen's head, "Host, your driving skills have reached legendary level." A large amount of information quickly flooded into Lin Chen's mind. His body underwent subtle changes, his dynamic vision improved a lot, and his nerve reaction speed also increased a lot.
Dad, I want to drive my car too.
Lin Xiaoxi, who was sitting in the car seat, suddenly said. Lin Chen's driving skills have reached legendary level, and Lin Xiaoxi's driving talent has also improved.
Lin Xiaoxi's driving talent is not very strong.
Lin Chen estimated that it should be around 15. When he reached the Grandmaster level, Lin Xiaoxi's driving talent reached around 30.
It should be around 45 now. This talent is considered pretty good among ordinary people. Cece, you can play when we get back.
Lin Chen said with a smile. He sensed that legendary level car skills were not just a little stronger than Grandmaster level car skills.
His current understanding and control of cars was terrifyingly strong. This car's performance is too poor.
Lin Chen muttered to himself. He had the idea of replacing this car. Lin Chen's current car skills were too strong, and with the performance of this car, he was completely unable to bring his car skills into full play. Usually, there is no problem, and he doesn't speed. But if he encounters danger and needs to speed, the car cannot go fast. The Lamborghini is very powerful, but most of the time, he is with Lin Xiaoxi, and Lin Xiaoxi is not suitable to ride in the Lamborghini.
An hour passed.
The transfer was completed, and the Lamborghini was in Lin Chen's name.
Master Lin, I will drive it back for you again. Chen Jian smiled.
The three of them returned to the residential compound, and Chen Jian parked the car and left.
In the evening, Liang Yi drove Su Mengyao back to the residential compound.
Hey! Su Mengyao noticed that there was a sports car parked next to her car. This sports car was also parked in the space that belonged to their family. Lin Chen had bought a total of 4 parking spaces. He had one for himself, and Su Mengyao had 2 cars, which took up 3 parking spaces. There was also one parking space that Liang Yi mostly parked in, and Su Mengyao would be picked up and dropped off by Liang Yi when she went to work. Honey, one of the cars is taking up our parking space,
Su Mengyao said when she got home.
Lin Chen shook his head. It's not someone else's car, it's mine. Chen Jian, the general manager, gave it to me today. Honey, that Lamborghini is supposed to be the top model, and it's estimated to cost 8 to 9 million yuan.
Is it okay to accept such an expensive gift from him?
Lin Chen said, I gave him a calligraphy piece. As long as I don't write a lot of nonsense, my calligraphy should be worth this much too.
Su Mengyao nodded. That's no problem.
Lin Xiaoqian put down her pen and ran over from the balcony. Mom, I finished your portrait.
Come and have a look. Su Mengyao went out onto the balcony.
She saw the painting that Lin Xiaoqian had drawn.
Su Mengyao's eyes lit up.
Cece, you've drawn your mother really beautifully. Lin Xiaoqian giggled. Of course, Dad's birthday is coming up soon, and I want to give him a beautiful mother.
Chapter 181, Gifts from the In-Laws. Do.
Lin Chen's phone rang, and Yang Qingyue called up a video call. Lin Chen connected the video call. Su Guofeng was also there on Yang Qingyue's end, and Lin Chen quickly called out, Dad, Mom.
Eh?
Yang Qingyue smiled and replied, Lin Chen, according to Mengyao, your birthday is the day after tomorrow.
Do you plan to spend it alone with Mengyao, or do you want us to come over and join the fun? Are your parents coming? Lin Chen, it's just a normal birthday, I'm going to spend it with Mengyao and Sisai. I've already told my parents not to come. Su Guofeng, do you want to send Sisai over so you and Mengyao can have some time alone? Grandpa, I want to spend my birthday with Daddy.
I drew a picture of Mommy and gave her to Daddy, Lin Xiaoqian said in a baby voice.
Lin Chen pointed the camera at Lin Xiaoxi, and Su Guofeng said, Cece, don't you miss your grandparents? Grandpa, I miss you. I'll come and see you tomorrow, hee hee.
The day after tomorrow is Dad's first birthday, and I want to spend it with him,
Lin Xiaoxi said. Yang Qingyue said in surprise, Cece, you're coming tomorrow?
Su Mengyao said, Mom, Lin Chen has something to do tomorrow, and there are things going on at the company too.
Lin Chen will bring Cece over in the morning.
Lin Chen has a private chef appointment with a guest tomorrow.
That's fine. Lin Chen, you can come over tomorrow and take your birthday present back with you. Yang Qingyue said. Time passed until the next morning.
After having breakfast at home and practicing Tai Chi, Lin Chen sent Lin Xiaoxi to the Su family.
Grandparents.
Su Guofeng and Yang Qingyue were both at home. Seeing them, Lin Xiaoxi immediately ran over cheerfully. Cece, I've missed you so much, Grandma. Yang Qingyue picked up Lin Xiaoqian and kissed her.
Grandma, I miss you too.
Su Guofeng looked at Lin Chen and smiled. Lin Chen, come here, I'll show you your birthday present.
Su Guofeng took Lin Chen to the garage.
Yang Qingyue hugged Lin Xiaoqian and followed behind. Inside the garage was a new car.
Su Guofeng said, Lin Chen, this is your birthday present. Lin Chen was quite surprised. Dad, doesn't Meng Yao have a curry is? Why did you buy another one?
Su Guofeng, that car is in my name, and I will drive it myself.
Besides, this car is different from that one. You'll know when you go up and take a look. Lin Chen got a little closer and noticed the difference. Dad, this curry is a modified bulletproof version? Su Guofeng nodded with a smile. Yes, it's a bulletproof version.
Meng Yao and I don't have any need for this, but you will probably need it in the future.
Don't worry, it's been legally registered. Driving this car on the road will make you much safer in the future.
Lin Chen opened the car door, which was very heavy, and the glass was very thick, so it could definitely withstand an ordinary firearm. A Rolls-Royce Cullinan was already very expensive, and with the bulletproof modification, this car was definitely worth no less than 15 million.
Dad, thank you.
Lin Chen said with emotion. Su Guofeng still had nothing but praise for his son-in-law.
Su Guofeng laughed and said, you can take this car back later, and you can leave your car here. Lin Chen nodded.
There was no need to sell his old car, as it wouldn't fetch much anyway. Leaving it here might come in handy in the future, for example, for reunions with classmates.
Driving a Cullinan or a sports car would be too high profile. Dad, you have a new car again. Lin Xiaoxi said happily. Yang Qingyue, Cece, why do you say again?
Someone gave Dad a new car yesterday, but it's short. Lin Xiaoqian replied. Lin Chen smiled. Chen Jian, the general manager Chen, gave me a Lamborghini, and I returned him a painting.
Su Guofeng nodded. It's good to return the gift, but there's no need to owe someone such a big favor if you don't return the gift. Mom, you look better. Let me take your pulse. Lin Chen said.
Yang Qingyue nodded, and Lin Chen quickly took her pulse. Mom, you are basically recovered. As long as you don't do heavy work, such as holding Cece for a long time, you will have no problem living a normal life.
That's good.
Yang Qingyue said with a smile. Dad, Mom, thank you for the birthday gifts. Cece, listen to your grandparents.
Dad will pick you up from school in the evening after picking up Mom from work.
Lin Chen said with a smile.
Lin Chen quickly drove off in the new Cullinan.
This bulletproof version of the Cullinan was heavy, but it had a V12 engine, so the power was still endless. The chances of encountering danger on the road in this car were greatly reduced. Lin Chen actually wasn't particularly worried about himself, as he should be able to reach the level of Grandmaster in martial arts in a month. But most of the time he would go out with Lin Xiaoxi.
What if Lin Xiaoxi got into trouble if they were attacked? Master Lin, long time no see.
It was nearing noon when Jiang Xuesong and the others arrived at Lin Chen's private kitchen. They had made a reservation for today. Although Jiang Xuesong and the others were not as wealthy as Yi Hong and the others, some of them were still quite wealthy, and they took turns treating guests to meals that cost millions of dollars. It was worth it to spend a little money to eat well and meet your idols.
Zhang Lao, Wang Lao. Lin Chen called out to them one by one.
Jiang Xuesong and the others had come in a group of 5. They had all made reservations, and Lin Chen had arranged the time for them.
Jiang Xuesong smiled and said, Master Lin, you go ahead. You can join us later.
Okay.
Lin Chen nodded. Jiang Xuesong and the others were different from the average customers.
Half an hour later, Lin Chen had finished preparing all the dishes. He served each dish one after the other, and the aroma was intoxicating. Try it, Mr. Jiang, Lin Chen said with a smile. Jiang Xuesong and the others demurred before they picked up their chopsticks. Soon, shock appeared in their eyes. Lin Chen's cooking skills had improved significantly compared to the last time.
the taste is really superb. Master Lin, you are amazing, you are so strong in calligraphy, fairy tale creation, and cooking, I admire you. Master Lin. Jiang Xuesong and the others were full of praise. After eating for a while, Jiang Xuesong said, Master Lin, we know about Wu Haoyu's situation, do you need our help? We still have some connections. Lin Chen shook his head. Grandmaster Jiang, I can handle it without your help. It's not a good idea for Grandmaster Jiang and the others to help with Wu Haoyu's case. Wu Haoyu's sentence can be reduced or not, and Jiang Xuesong and the others all cherish their feathers. If it gets out that Grandmaster Jiang and the other calligraphy masters bullied Wu Haoyu, a young man, it would have a bad influence. Yi Hong and the others did not have such worries. For rich people like Yu Heian, Yi Hong, and Shen Jian, conflicts and confrontations in the business world were a common occurrence. Master Lin, if you need it, just say the word, and we old guys will definitely support you fully. Another calligraphy master said. The rest of the calligraphy masters nodded in succession. They cared about their reputation, but if they had to help Lin Chen, they would not hesitate to get their feathers wet. Chapter 182, I should be invincible in a one-on-one fight. In the evening, Lin Chen drove to Su Mengyau's company. Wife, I'm here. Lin Chen sent a message to Su Mengyao. Honey, I have a sudden thing to take care of. I'll be half an hour late. Honey, wait for me, a kiss. Then you can kiss me later, or I can kiss you. Su Mengyao. After parking the car, Lin Chen strolled around the company. Unknowingly, Lin Chen reached the sports center. Brother Lin, want to play a game? Su Dong was playing basketball and saw Lin Chen, who jogged over. Sure. Lin Chen said with a smile. Lin Xiaoqian doesn't play basketball every day now, but Lin Chen still takes her to play every other day. In the past, his basketball skills were only at the master level, but now his basketball skills have long since reached the grandmaster level. In addition, his physical fitness has also improved a lot compared to before. He has also learned ancient martial arts Tai Chi and possesses internal strength. System, what is my current physical fitness? Lin Chen asked in his mind. He hasn't paid attention to it for a while. System, host, your physical fitness is 316 points. Gee. Lin Chen was delighted in his heart. The physical fitness of top boxers is only 180 points, and his physical fitness is already a lot stronger than top boxers. With such a large physical difference, even if he doesn't use internal strength, he can probably knock out a top boxer with one punch, and it would be no problem for him to kick someone 10 meters in the air with one kick. You have to be careful when playing basketball later. Lin Chen secretly warned himself. Su Dong and the others have pretty good physical fitness, but if he's not careful, he might knock them flying. Lin Gu. Lin Gu is fine. Lin Chen and Su Dong entered the court, and the rest of the people greeted them. Hello. I can't play for long, let's start. Lin Chen said with a smile. Soon Lin Chen and the others started to fight against each other. At first it was a 50-50 fight, but soon Su Dong and the others adjusted to a 40-60 fight. Lin Chen's team had 4 people. But even so, there was no suspense in the competition. Lin Gu, I'm going to Su Ji's team. Another person from Lin Chen's team split away, turning it into a 30-70 fight, with only 3 people from Lin Chen's team. However, Lin Chen's team was still in the lead. Even if several of Su Dong's teammates tried to block Lin Chen, they couldn't stop him. Lin Chen would still score if he wanted to. The rebounds were often easily taken by Lin Chen when they didn't score. 20 minutes passed. Su Mengyao entered the sports center. She sent a message to Lin Chen, but Lin Chen didn't reply, so she knew that Lin Chen had probably come to the sports center. Go Lin Gu. Lin Gu, do another dunk. At the edge of the basketball court, quite a few people were gathered watching the game. Su Mengyao walked over and saw Lin Chen. Pong. Lin Chen jumped from beyond the 2-point line and easily slammed the ball. Go, honey. Su Mengyao shouted. Lin Chen looked in Su Mengyao's direction when he heard her voice. Many of the other people also looked in Su Mengyao's direction. Su Mengyao's face turned slightly red. Honey, we'll be done soon. Lin Chen smiled as he walked over to Su Mengyao. Yes, go ahead. Su Mengyao nodded. She quite liked watching Lin Chen play on the court. Lin Chen looked thin, and he was also good at calligraphy, painting, etc. Usually, Lin Chen looked like a scholar to Su Mengyao, but on the court, Lin Chen was domineering. What's going on? How come it's 3 against 7? Su Mengyao asked doubtfully soon.
Someone next to her hurriedly explained, President, it was supposed to be a 50-50 confrontation, but Brother Lin is too strong, so it became a 40-60 confrontation, and then it became a 30-70 confrontation.
Su Mengyao was very surprised. 3 against 7, can this work? Ping. Ping.
Soon Su Mengyao saw Lin Chen scoring goal after goal. Su Dong and the others were not deliberately letting up, they were fighting with all their strength, but the score between the two sides was still constantly widening.
Su Mengyao's eyes were shining. Lin Chen on the pitch was very different from the usual Lin Chen. Go, honey! Su Mengyao loudly cheered for Lin Chen.
Many of the others were shouting Go Lin Gu.
Su Mengyao's voice was not particularly noticeable in the mix. But Lin Chen had keen senses and a good hearing, and he could hear Su Mengyao's shouts clearly from the sidelines. Pong!
Lin Chen completed another dunk, and the score was 60-23. Lin Chen's team had 60 points. And almost all of those 60 points were scored by Lin Chen.
That's enough for today.
Su Dong, you guys continue playing. Lin Chen threw the ball to Su Dong and said with a smile.
Lin Gu, you are too strong.
Su Dong exclaimed in admiration, and compared to before, your basketball skills have improved a lot. Lin Gu, I don't think I would have any problems playing in the NBA.
Lin Gu.
The rest of the people also spoke up one after the other.
Lin Chen's basketball skills had completely conquered them. Honey, we're home. Lin Chen laughed as he reached Su Mengyao's side. Honey, you're so handsome. Su Mengyao, the big CEO, became a little fangirl. Then you're not going to kiss me?
Lin Chen said with a smile.
Kiss, kiss. The crowd around them shouted. Boo! Su Mengyao blushed and kissed Lin Chen on the cheek.
Hurry up and go, she is waiting for us to pick her up. Soon Lin Chen and the others left.
Someone once said that the CEO and Lin Gu were in a fake marriage, and it's quite normal for Lin Gu to win the CEO with his basketball skills. Lin Gu was really handsome just now. I feel that Lin Ge's level is not inferior to those top NBA stars.
Lin Gu probably hit his strength last time.
Everyone was talking about it. Lin Chen and Su Mengyao arrived at the parking lot. Husband, you bought a new car?
Lin Chen unlocked the car with the remote control, and Su Mengyao said in surprise.
Lin Chen said with a smile, no. This is a birthday gift from my parents. Princess, please get in the car.
Lin Chen said as he opened the passenger door.
Hey, this one is a bit different from the one I have. Lin Chen said, this one is bulletproof. Your car is in Dad's name, right?
He said he'll drive it himself in the future.
Su Mengyao's eyes showed surprise. My parents have never given me such an expensive gift on my birthday. They are quite willing to spend. Lin Chen said with a smile, what are they reluctant to spend on?
They have already given me their most precious daughter.
Su Mengyao's face showed shyness. You know how to talk.
Lin Chen quickly got into the car and set off.
Husband, didn't you want to play professional ball before?
There's been a bit of trouble with that.
Su Mengyao said. What kind of trouble?
Lin Chen asked, and there was no follow-up to this.
But he was very content with Lin Xiaoxi and didn't ask. Su Mengyao, qualification issues.
There may also be considerations of interest. Lin Chen looked at Su Mengyao, who continued, you're very skilled, but you're not even a registered player.
Of course, if that's the only problem, I think Boss Song and the others should be able to find a solution.
There should be some issues of interest involved. Lin Chen said, honey, if you can't participate in professional games, then don't participate, it's no big deal.
It's a bit bullying to participate at my current level. Su Mengyao looked at Lin Chen.
A curious look appeared in her eyes.
Hubby, what level of basketball are you at now? Lin Chen smiled and said, I should be invincible in one-on-one. Chapter 183, Are we going to sleep together? Su Mengyao looked at Lin Chen in shock. Husband, do you mean invincible in the whole country, or the whole world? Su Mengyao asked. The whole world, it should be pretty much invincible.
Lin Chen laughed lightly. His basketball skills have long since become a grandmaster, and he is approaching legendary level. His physique is now over 300, and he also has internal strength, so his overall basketball level is super strong.
Honey, you haven't played against those top players, so how can you be sure?
Su Mengyao was a little surprised.
Lin Chen smiled and said, how can I be sure? It's very simple.
I can knock people flying with a reasonable collision.
If I can knock people flying, how can I not win? Su Mengyao said. Are you bullshitting, honey? Many people playing in the NBA are as strong as oxen, so how can you knock them flying? It shouldn't be a problem. Su Mengyao looked at Lin Chen in surprise and said, husband, have you cultivated internal strength? Yes. Su Mengyao couldn't believe it.
Lin Chen must have cultivated internal strength if he said that. She remembered that when Lin Chen first practiced Tai Chi, he practiced according to the video, and his movements were very awkward.
How could Lin Chen have internal strength after such a short time? Husband, is it true? Su Mengyao looked at Lin Chen expectantly. Lin Chen nodded slightly, it's true. You must not tell anyone about this. Although I have internal strength, it's not strong enough yet. I won't tell anyone, not even my parents.
Su Mengyao said seriously.
It might be even more dangerous when you have internal strength but it's not strong yet. If the enemy knows, they might act more urgently.
This enemy might not necessarily be someone they have offended, it could be some opposition forces from a rival country.
Honey, you'd actually be better off not even telling me. Su Mengyao said.
I'm exposing more and more things now, and the number of people who know my situation is also increasing.
Are you worried?
A little. Lin Chen smiled and said, don't worry too much about this in the future.
I have a sense of proportion.
I will only gradually expose some things as my strength increases.
Su Mengyao nodded.
Knowing that Lin Chen had internal strength, her worries decreased a lot. If this continues, Lin Chen's connections will become stronger and stronger, but no matter how strong the connections are, it only takes one bullet, and Lin Chen will still be dead. It's very sweet and beautiful now, and Su Mengyao doesn't want anything to happen.
Honey, let's go to Mount Tai tomorrow. Let's go to Mount Tai to pray for blessings. Su Mengyao suddenly said. Lin Chen glanced at Su Mengyao, honey, are you serious? Are you sure you can climb Mount Tai with your small physique?
Su Mengyao said coquettishly, I usually exercise, but Sis I definitely wants to come with us.
Didn't you say you were in good health? Can you carry her on the mountain? Of course I can.
Lin Chen said with a smile.
How are we going to get there? Su Mengyao opened her phone and looked it up. She said sullenly, the nearest airport is 100 or so kilometers away.
If we go from home to the airport, take a plane, and then drive to the foot of the mountain, it will definitely be afternoon.
We won't have enough time to climb the mountain.
Lin Chen thought for a moment and said, then let's drive there.
Ha? Su Mengyao looked at Lin Chen blankly.
Lin Chen smiled and said, now that you mention it, I also want to go pray.
The heavens have allowed you to be by my side.
This kind of thing is a rare experience for us and she. I'll drive over tonight, and we can climb the mountain tomorrow morning. No matter how high the mountain or how long the road, as long as we're a family, that's all that matters.
Su Mengyao, but you'll be very tired.
I can drive for the first half of the night, but for the second half, if I don't sleep, I won't have the energy to climb the mountain tomorrow. Lin Chen laughed, I'm fine even if I don't sleep for a few days.
You know nothing about your husband's stamina. But you'll definitely find out in the future. Su Mengyao. You're driving overnight to climb Mount Tai tomorrow?
Yang Qingyue said in a daze. She reached out and touched Su Mengyao's forehead, no fever.
Do you still have the energy to climb like this? And you're also taking CC with you, how will you climb? My husband says it's no problem.
Su Guofeng said, honey, they're young people, Lin Chen also knows what he's doing, they said it's no problem, so go ahead, youth is about flying recklessly.
Lin Xiao, are you sure it's okay?
Yang Qingyue looked at Lin Chen and asked. Lin Chen nodded, Mom, it's definitely fine.
That's fine.
Yang Qingyue nodded, and you guys take a shower before you set off.
Yes. Lin Xiaoxi was very excited. An hour later, Su Mengyao set off in the car.
The destination was 800 kilometers away, and it would take more than 8 hours.
They're crazy.
Yang Qingyue shook her head as she watched the car go.
Su Guofeng laughed, but this is youth.
We don't have youth anymore, but Mengyao and the others still do.
They can go on a spur-of-the-moment trip. Yang Qingyue, I'm just a little worried.
Su Guofeng said, if it was just Mengyao, I wouldn't agree either, but with Lin Chen together, we don't need to worry.
2 hours passed and Lin Xiaoxi fell asleep. She folded paper airplanes, sang songs, and listened to fairy tales. Honey, you go into the service area ahead. You rest well next, I'll drive. Lin Chen said. Su Mengyao, honey, I can drive for a bit longer. Be good, you won't have the energy tomorrow if you don't get enough rest. Okay. It wasn't long before Lin Chen took over driving. Honey, I want a bedtime story too. Su Mengyao said coquettishly. No problem. Lin Chen said with a smile, and he quickly began to tell the story. Telling Su Mengyao stories didn't gain experience, but after 5 minutes Lin Chen began to gain driving experience. Driving a long distance, back and forth, he would be able to gain more than 10 hours of experience by the time they arrived. His mountaineering experience would also improve significantly the next day. The night passed. Su Mengyao woke up. Lin Chen was driving, which made her feel at ease. She slept well last night. Honey, are we there yet? Su Mengyao looked outside. Lin Chen had already pulled into the hotel parking lot. Yes, we're at the hotel. Let's rest for a while, wash up, have breakfast, and then go mountaineering. Lin Chen said with a smile. Su Mengyao nodded. Honey, I love you, happy birthday. Lin Xiaoxi, who was in the back seat, woke up and said in a daze, Dad, happy birthday, I love you too. Lin Chen beamed, I love you all too. 5 minutes later, Lin Chen and the others arrived at the hotel room. Lin Xiaoxi put her arms around Lin Chen's neck and kissed his face. Dad, I love you, I want to kiss you. Mom, you kissed Dad too. Su Mengyao approached with a blush on her face. Lin Chen reached out the other hand and put it around her, his left arm around his goddess wife and his right arm around his daughter. A kiss. Su Mengyao also kissed Lin Chen. A kiss, a kiss. Lin Chen also kissed Su Mengyao and Lin Xiaoxi. Lin Xiaoxi seemed to have discovered a new continent at this time. Mom and Dad, there's only one bed. Are we going to sleep together? Chapter 184, I'll hold you both. Su Mengyao looked at Lin Chen. Lin Chen had booked the hotel in the car, and he had booked a double room. Honey, is there a problem? Lin Chen asked with a smile. Su Mengyao shrugged and said, no problem. It's your birthday, you're the oldest, so there's no problem. Cici, it's still early. You go back to bed and lie down for a while. Lin Xiaoxian, Daddy, I need to pee. Lin Xiaoxian went to the toilet and Lin Chen put her to bed. It was only 6 a.m., so Lin Chen sang a lullaby for a while before Lin Xiaoxian fell asleep. You've worked hard, honey, so get some sleep too. Su Mengyao said. What about you, honey? Lin Chen asked. Su Mengyao blushed and said, I need to go to the toilet. Lin Chen lay down. He closed his eyes, but he didn't fall asleep. With his constitution, it really wasn't a problem if he didn't sleep for a few days. 10 minutes later, Su Mengyao came out of the bathroom. She saw Lin Chen had already fallen asleep with his eyes closed. Honey. Su Mengyao called softly. Lin Chen didn't say a word. Su Mengyao uncovered the quilt and slowly lay down on the bed. The room was quiet. Lin Chen could clearly hear Su Mengyao's fast heartbeat. After a while, Su Mengyao changed from lying flat to sleeping on her side, and she was looking at Lin Chen and Lin Xiaoxi. Lin Xiaoxi was small and could not block Su Mengyao's line of sight. Less than 2 feet apart, she could clearly see Lin Chen's profile. My husband seems to be getting more and more handsome. Su Mengyao muttered to herself. In the past, Lin Chen was just a little handsome in her opinion, but now Lin Chen's appearance and temperament had surpassed most handsome guys. Gradually, Su Mengyao's heartbeat slowed down. Without taking off her clothes, and with Lin Xiaoxian in between, she was still able to accept sleeping in the same bed. Su Mengyao fell asleep without realizing. Lin Chen opened his eyes. Su Mengyao looked at him for a while, and then he looked at Su Mengyao. 2 hours passed and Su Mengyao woke up first. She opened her eyes and saw Lin Chen looking at her. Su Mengyao's pretty face quickly turned red. Hubby, let's get up. Su Mengyao whispered. Don't move, or you'll wake up Shishi. Su Mengyao didn't move, but her heart started beating faster again. 5 minutes later, Lin Xiaoxi woke up. Dad, Mom. Lin Xiaoxi called sweetly. Finally, we're sleeping together. Lin Xiaoxi was very happy. Shishi, get up quickly. We'll go hiking after breakfast. Su Mengyao said, and got up quickly after she finished speaking. Around 9 o'clock, Lin Chen and the others arrived at the red gate of Mount Tai. The weather was pretty good today, a cloudy day. It was much better for hiking than a sunny day. Dad, Mom, let's race, Lin Xiaoxian said in a baby voice. She walked cheerfully in front of Lin Chen and the others. Lin Chen took Su Mengyao's hand and followed. Some people around them looked at Lin Chen with envy. His wife is so beautiful, and his daughter is also very cute. Lin Chen is a true winner in life. Cici, slow down a bit. Cici. Lin Chen reminded Lin Xiaoxi from time to time. 5 minutes later, the system wisely began to give mountaineering tips. Hubby, how long will it take us to get there and back? Can we get down before dark? Su Mengyao asked. Lin Chen, who said we're going down today? I booked a hotel at the top of the mountain. We'll climb, pray, sleep at the hotel, and watch the sunrise tomorrow morning. Su Mengyao's eyes lit up. Watching the sunrise together was something she really liked. Hubby, how many rooms did you book? Lin Chen, there are only a few rooms left at the top of the mountain, so I only managed to book one. How many beds? Su Mengyao asked. 2. Su Mengyao let out a sigh of relief. Lin Chen said, it's a family room with a big bed and a children's room with a bunk bed. Su Mengyao. Drip. Lin Chen's phone rang, it was his mother calling him on video. Lin Chen quickly connected the video call. Happy birthday, son. What place is this, son? Lin Chen's mother, Chen Mei, asked. Lin Chen smiled and said, Mom, we're in Taishan. Mengyao and I came here with Sisai to climb the mountain and pray for blessings. Lin Chen said this and turned the phone towards Su Mengyao. Mom. Su Mengyao called out hurriedly. Chen Mei answered with a smile. Lin Chen picked up Lin Xiaoxi in his arms. Grandma, what are you doing? Where's Grandpa? Lin Xiaoxi asked in a baby voice. Lin Hai's figure soon appeared. Cici, Grandpa is here. Grandpa. Lin Xiaoxi called sweetly. Dad. Lin Chen and Su Mengyao called together. Lin Hai smiled and answered. Chen Mei-san, you are taking Mengyao and Cici hiking, so you must pay attention to safety. If they get hurt, your father and I won't let you off when you come back. Grandma, we'll be careful, Lin Xiaoxi said. After chatting for a while, Lin Chen hung up the video call. Dad, let me down. I still have a lot of energy, I want to climb by myself, Lin Xiaoxi said firmly. Okay. Lin Chen put Lin Xiaoxi on the ground. 20 minutes passed. Lin Xiaoxi, Dad, are we almost there? I'm running out of battery power. Lin Chen smiled. Xiaoxi, Mount Tai is different from the small mountains we usually climb. It's very high and it will take a long time to climb it. But don't be afraid. If you get tired, I can carry you, and we can rest. Lin Xiaoqian hugged Lin Chen's thighs. Daddy, I want a hug. Lin Chen picked Lin Xiaoqian up. Xiaoqian, didn't you say you had a lot of strength? Su Mengyao teased Lin Xiaoqian. Lin Xiaoqian blinked. Daddy has even more strength. The three of them continued to climb. Occasionally, Lin Chen would impart some mountaineering experience. In this way, the system did not cut off the experience from him. Lin Chen had 15 hours of mountaineering experience, and before reaching the summit, Lin Chen estimated that he could reach 20 hours. 20 hours is a grandmaster. By then, Lin Xiaoxi's mountaineering talent could be doubled. Talent improvement is not physical improvement, but improving mountaineering talent is also of great benefit to Lin Xiaoxi. Gradually, 2 or 3 hours passed. Lin Xiaoxi walked on her own occasionally, and most of the time Lin Chen carried her. Honey, my legs are so sore, I can't climb anymore. Let's rest for a while, Su Mengyao said weakly. Lin Chen said, Cici walks slowly, and we've only gone a third of the way. I'll carry you both. Ha? Su Mengyao looked at Lin Chen in disbelief. Lin Chen bent down, holding Lin Xiaoxi in his left arm, and with his right hand he picked Su Mengyao up at the same time. Damn, man, you're awesome. Brother, you're awesome. Some people around looked at Lin Chen like he was a god. Some of them had already walked with Lin Chen for a while, and they were quite impressed when Lin Chen carried Lin Xiaoxi on the mountain. Honey, you're going to get too tired like this, Su Mengyao said coyly. It's fine, you guys don't weigh much together, Lin Chen said with a relaxed expression. Su Mengyao weighs about 100 pounds, and Lin Xiaoxi weighs about 20 pounds, so Lin Chen has no pressure carrying them with his physique. The physical strength of an average man is 60. Lin Chen's physical strength is now over 300. Hubby, I want a hug too. A woman said a few dozen meters behind Lin Chen and the others. Her husband glanced at the corner of his wife's mouth. If his wife looked like Su Mengyao, even if he ran out of strength, he would grit his teeth and hug his wife for a while. But his wife's appearance was several streets behind Su Mengyao's. But for every loss, there is a gain. His wife weighs a few dozen pounds more. Chapter 185, the netizens have broken through the defense. Wife, don't look at him lifting her up. He's just pretending to be strong. He can't walk very far like this. The man tried to reassure his wife as best he could. This was also a way to try to find some psychological balance for himself. If he can carry her quite a distance, you have to carry me too. Okay, no problem. The man who spoke simply didn't believe Lin Chen could carry her very far. Su Mengyao is slim, but she is not short. She should weigh 100 kilograms, and with a child, their weight is definitely over 120 kilograms. How far can Lin Chen walk carrying them? Husband, you'd better let me down. You're tired like this. After Lin Chen had carried her up dozens of steps, Su Mengyao said coyly, with many people around watching her. Lin Chen laughed without blushing. It's fine, this weight of yours is nothing to me. Dad, if you get tired, I'll walk by myself, and you can carry mommy, that way you won't get tired. Lin Xiaoxian said in a baby voice. Lin Chen, Cici, if you just kiss daddy, daddy will have a lot of strength. Bah! Lin Xiaoxian quickly kissed Lin Chen. Dad, do you have a lot of strength now? Yes. Lin Xiaoxi giggled and said, silly dad, if you say no, even if you say no, mom will still kiss you. Lin Chen. Everyone around heard what Lin Xiaoxi said and couldn't stop laughing. Lin Xiaoxi, don't talk nonsense. Su Mengyao said in a sweet and angry tone. A few minutes passed in the blink of an eye. Everyone around was astonished. Lin Chen had already walked up quite a few steps while carrying Su Mengyao and the others, but Lin Chen was still steadily advancing. Some of them who had originally wanted to follow and watch the fun gradually could no longer keep up with Lin Chen's pace. Hubby, you carry me. That handsome guy in front carried his wife this far. The woman behind, 100 or 2 meters away, urged her husband. Her husband secretly groaned. Wife, let's catch up to them first. We'll go in front of them so they can see. What's the point of following them around? The man thought of a good idea. Okay. The woman quickened her pace, but even so, they were gradually pulled away and could no longer see Lin Chen and the others. Shocked. A man did this to his wife and daughter on Mount Tai. There was a young anchor in the crowd of people climbing the mountain, and he filmed a video and uploaded it to his Douyin account. Seeing the cover headline, many people clicked in. Holy shit, this guy is a stud. If my wife is this beautiful, I can do it too. I don't think they can go far like this. The comments section soon had many comments from netizens. Douyin's algorithm found that this video had good data and quickly pushed the stream. The number of likes and comments on the video increased rapidly. You're only focusing on his strength, haven't you noticed that this beauty is Su Mengyao? Who is Su Mengyao, a third-tier celebrity? She looks very pretty, but I've never heard of her. A celebrity? She is the president of the Su Group, with an estimated personal asset of over 10 billion yuan, and the Su family's assets are estimated at 30 to 40 billion yuan. Su Mengyao is an only child. Seeing comments like this, many netizens completely broke their defenses. With a super high appearance value and a family fortune of tens of billions, who wouldn't love her? They felt sympathy for Lin Chen, who had to hug 2 of them. They just wanted to yell, let me do it. Ding. Yang Qingyue's phone rang. Yang Jie, I saw Mengyao online. Yang Qingyue answered the phone and the person on the other end said. Yang Qingyue was puzzled. Isn't this normal? Su Mengyao is the president of the Su Group and she occasionally makes public appearances. What's the news? Yang Qingyue asked. Could someone be deliberately smearing her daughter's name online? Yang Jie, I'll send you the link. After hanging up, Yang Qingyue received a link to a video. She clicked on it. Yang Qingyue saw Lin Chen holding Su Mengyao and Lin Xiaoxi as they climbed a mountain. Lin Chen is so strong. A smile appeared on Yang Qingyue's face. She was very happy to see how much Lin Chen loved her. However, when she clicked into the comments section, Yang Qingyue was not so happy. Some people were sour and said that Lin Chen was a freeloader and that Lin Chen would marry into their Su family. Lin Chen is not her son, but her son-in-law, but Yang Qingyue still felt uncomfortable when she saw such comments. Drip. Yang Qingyue called Su Guofeng. Honey, there are some comments from netizens that I don't feel comfortable reading, and the in-laws may feel even more uncomfortable when they see them. Yang Qingyue was a little worried. Su Guofeng said, honey, you should be fine if you talk to the in-laws on the phone. They know what Lin Chen is capable of. If the in-laws need us to clarify anything, we can send out a message to clarify it. Yang Qingyue, okay. After hanging up the phone, she dialed Lin Chen's mother's video call. Are you busy, in-laws? I have something to tell you. Yang Qingyue said with a smile. Chen Mei hurriedly asked, in-laws, is it about the wedding? Just let me know if your family has any requests. Yang Qingyue told her about the news on the internet. Chen Mei laughed and said, so that's what this is about. Those people are just envious. Even if it wasn't a marriage of convenience, they would still be fighting over Meng Yao's conditions. Mother-in-law, we can send a message to clarify. Yang Qingyue asked. Chen Mei said, no, there's no need to pay any attention to them. Those who want a slander can always find all kinds of angles. As long as my son and Meng Yao are happy, that's all that matters. Yang Qingyue laughed and said, mother-in-law, you are more open-minded than I am. I get angry just reading those bad comments. In-law mother, where are you in the renovation process? The two of them started chatting about everyday life. Lin Chen was with them. Unknowingly, Lin Chen had been hugging for about 20 minutes. Husband, put me down, I'm rested. Su Mengyao said coquettishly. Lin Chen still looked calm and collected. He smiled and said, wife, are you sure? I can still carry you both. I'm sure, put me down quickly. Su Mengyao said with a slight blush. Many people were already looking at them from behind. Dad, you put me down too. Thank you, Dad. Lin Xiaoxian said, and kissed Lin Chen. Mom, you have to thank Dad too, he worked really hard. Boo. Su Mengyao blushed and kissed Lin Chen too. Many people behind them saw this scene. Damn, I got fed a mouthful of dog food after climbing a mountain. I'm jealous and numb. Some people whispered to their friends. Dad, I have a lot of strength now. Lin Xiaoxian said in a baby voice. She walked in front of Lin Chen and the others. Lin Chen held Su Mengyao behind him and whispered, wife, now you know how strong your husband is, and your happy sex life is ahead. Su Mengyao. She gave Lin Chen a wide-eyed glance. Wife, are you thinking of the wrong thing? Su Mengyao muttered to herself, wondering if she had really gone wrong. Brothers and sisters, if you like it, please give it a 5-star rating, thanks. Chapter 186, Reach the top and gain photography skills. Drip. After climbing for a while, Su Mengyao phone rang. It was Xin Qing calling for a video call. Su Mengyao connected the video call. Xiao Qingqing, what's up? Xin Chang asked with a smile. Mengyao, was it comfortable for Lin Chen to climb holding you? Su Mengyao. How did you know? Xin Qing, someone filmed a video and uploaded it to the internet, and the number of likes has already reached tens of thousands. Huh? Su Mengyao was dumbfounded. They were filmed and posted online? Honey, someone filmed a video and posted it online. Su Mengyao said to Lin Chen. Lin Chen smiled. Now that the media is so developed, it's not uncommon for someone to film and post it online. This is fine, the heat will soon die down. He is Lin Yu, and the exposure of such news is the only way to maintain the heat for a long time. It's just a matter of chance that it was exposed, and there's probably not going to be much heat tomorrow. Su Mengyao nodded. She was just a little shy, but otherwise she was fine. She and Lin Chen weren't having an affair, and they didn't steal the child. Sisai, slow down a little. Look who this is. Su Mengyao said to Lin Xiaoxi, who was walking ahead of her. Lin Xiaoxi stopped and turned around. The camera zoomed in, and Lin Xiaoxi said sweetly, Auntie Qingqing, where are you? Mom, Dad, and I are climbing Mount Tai. Xinxing, Sisai, you know it's Mount Tai. Lin Xiaoxian nodded, of course. Auntie Qingqing, I'll tell you a secret. At this, Lin Xiaoxian lowered her voice. Dad just carried both me and Mum. Really? Xinxing said, sounding surprised. Lin Xiaoxian nodded. Auntie Qingqing, I'm not lying to you, my dad is a strong man. Auntie Qingqing, when are you going to get a husband?
Xinqing felt a little bad. Lin Xiaoxi continued, when you have a husband, he can carry you when you get tired climbing mountains.
Su Mengyao burst out laughing.
Xinqing covered her chest, feeling heartbroken.
What kind of video was she making? She was single, and didn't even have a boyfriend. Even if she tried hard to find someone to carry her on the mountain, it would be difficult. Auntie Qingqing, what's wrong?
Xinqiang said, Auntie Qingqing is fine. You continue climbing.
Auntie Qingqing has to go now. Lin Xiaoxi nodded. Yes, Auntie Qingqing, go find a husband. Bye, Auntie Qingqing. Xinqiang. She quickly hung up the video call.
The child's words were heartbreaking.
Mom, Auntie Qingqing didn't say goodbye. Lin Xiaoxi looked at Su Mengyao. Su Mengyao said, Aunt Qingqing probably had an emergency. Sisai, why did you tell Aunt Qingqing to find a husband?
Lin Xiaoqian, I like Aunt Qingqing. Then someone will cook for her and hug her. Lin Chen kissed Lin Xiaoqian, Sisai, you are doing what is best for Aunt Qingqing, but you can't rush these things. You are still young, so don't worry about this. Lin Xiaoqian nodded. Half an hour passed and Su Mengyao's feet started to hurt. Although she exercised regularly, she rarely went hiking. Honey, do you still have the strength? Su Mengyao looked at Lin Chen and said pitifully. Yes. Lin Chen smiled.
Honey, give me a hug. Su Mengyao blushed slightly and said coquettishly.
Lin Chen bent down and picked Su Mengyao up in his arms again.
Who could resist a goddess-level wife acting coquettishly like this? Honey, you can let me down if you're tired. Su Mengyao took the initiative to kiss Lin Chen. Dad, I'll kiss you too. Lin Xiaoxi kissed Lin Chen on the other side of his face sweetly. I admit, I'm jealous. With a net worth of 10 billion, fair skin and good looks, and a nice personality, in which direction should I bow to be able to marry someone like this?
I didn't burn incense before, but I have to burn a few this time.
Some people behind Lin Chen and the others were discussing. Time passed by minute by minute.
Lin Chen held Su Mengyao and the others for more than an hour. Even so, Lin Chen did not feel tired. With a physique of over 300, he had a very strong recovery ability, and the consumption brought about by this burden had not yet recovered.
Husband, please let me down.
It's not far from the top of the mountain anymore, I can climb up slowly on my own. Su Mengyao said shyly. There were indeed quite a lot of people looking at them along the way.
It's fine, but if your feet hurt, don't force yourself.
Otherwise, it may be painful for 2 or 3 days.
Lin Chen said. Lin Xiaoxi, Dad, you're a doctor.
You can give Mom some medicine, so her feet won't hurt.
Lin Chen let Su Mengyao down.
Soaking your feet in Chinese medicine can help, but it will still hurt for a day or 2.
Su Mengyao nodded. Dad, I'll go down and walk on my own too.
You've worked hard, Dad.
Lin Xiaoxi said in a baby voice. Lin Chen let Lin Xiaoxi down too.
The 3 of them walked slowly, and there were fewer clouds in the sky. The sun's rays shone on them, but the temperature at the top of the mountain was a bit lower, so even though they were in the sun, they didn't feel too hot. Host, your mountaineering skills have reached the level of Grandmaster. The system's voice suddenly sounded in Lin Chen's mind. A lot of information flooded into Lin Chen's mind.
Lin Chen looked at Lin Xiaoxi.
Lin Xiaoxi's mountaineering talent had improved, and her walking posture had obviously changed within a short period of half a minute. It's obvious that there can be such a change so quickly.
Cece's mountaineering talent is at least 15 points.
Lin Chen thought to himself. If the talent was very low, even if it doubled, it would still be very low, and in that case, Lin Xiaoxi would hardly have any reaction.
Mountaineering skills are still very useful. If you are stranded in the wilderness for some reason, this can save your life.
After walking and stopping for another hour or 2, Lin Chen and the others finally reached the top and had a panoramic view.
Mom and Dad, we're so high.
Lin Xiaoxi said cheerfully.
Su Mengyao hugged Lin Chen, happy birthday, honey.
Lin Chen opened his arms and held Su Mengyao in his arms. Lin Xiaoxi looked at Lin Chen and winked, Daddy, give me the phone.
Cece, what do you want the phone for? Lin Chen said.
Lin Xiaoxi, Daddy, I'll take a picture of us.
Can you take a picture? Lin Xiaoxi shook her head, Daddy, teach me. Lin Chen let go of Su Mengyao and smiled, okay, Dad will teach you, and later you will take a photo of Mom and Dad.
Lin Chen slowly began to teach. He not only taught how to use the phone's camera, but also how to find the right angle and so on.
5 minutes passed. Host, you taught Lin Xiaoxi to take photos and gained photography skills. 10 hours to master level, 20 hours to grandmaster level.
The system's voice sounded. A lot of information also flooded into Lin Chen's mind. Lin Chen's face revealed a faint smile. With his photography skills improved, he would be able to take beautiful photos of Su Mengyao and Lin Xiaoxi anytime in the future. After teaching for a while, Lin Xiaoxi said confidently, "Dad, I've learned it."
Click. Lin Xiaoxi took a photo of Lin Chen and the others.
In the photo, Su Mengyao was snuggled up next to Lin Chen. This photo was very beautiful.
Chapter 187, The Surprise from Su Mengyao. At the hotel on the mountain, Lin Chen and the others entered the room. Wow, there's a little house. Mom and Dad, I like this little house.
Lin Xiaoxi ran cheerfully inside. Soon she climbed inside the little house, which hung against the wall. There was a soft packed staircase on one side and a small slide on the other.
Mom, can you see me? It's so comfortable in here, I want to sleep in here.
Lin Xiaoxi looked outside through the tiny window.
Su Mengyao. If Lin Xiaoxi sleeps up there, will she and Lin Chen sleep in the bed? Cici, no. If you sleep alone, no one will cover you up. What if you catch a cold? Su Mengyao said. Lin Xiaoxi, Mom, it's okay to catch a cold. Dad is a doctor, he can cure me. Dad, am I right? Lin Chen smiled and said, Dad thinks you're right.
It's just a little cold, and Dad can handle it easily.
Su Mengyao gave Lin Chen a wide-eyed glance. Cici, don't listen to your father's nonsense.
Although we're not afraid of colds, if you catch one, you have to take medicine.
And you'll still cough, and you'll feel bad, right? Su Mengyao said. Mom, but I really like this little house. That's easy. Dad is very good at it. You can ask Dad to build you a little house when you go back. Lin Xiaoxi's eyes lit up. Dad, can you build a little house? I want a little house for a little elf to live in.
Lin Chen smiled, Dad can't, but Dad can learn, and I should be able to do it in the future.
We can learn a lot of knowledge through learning, right? Dad, I want a prettier one.
Lin Chen spoiled her, okay, Dad will build you a prettier one then. You don't have to sleep in this little house at night, you can sleep with Mom and Dad.
Lin Xiaoqian, can I play in here now? Of course you can. Lin Chen nodded. Su Mengyao let out a silent sigh of relief.
It was fine to have Lin Xiaoqian sleeping between them.
Lin Chen looked at Su Mengyao with a smile. You're bad.
Su Mengyao said coquettishly.
How am I bad? Su Mengyao pouted, guessing Lin Chen's thoughts.
Lin Chen was not thinking of sleeping with her alone right now, but if there was a worse option, she would be more willing to accept the relatively better one. Lin Xiaoxi sleeps by herself, and the two of them sleep together, which is a worse option.
It is better for the three of them to sleep together. Mom and Dad, what are you talking about? Lin Xiaoxi asked in a baby voice. Su Mengyao quickly said, nothing. Xiaoxi, come down, you're sweating. Mom will give you a bath first. Honey, wait.
Lin Chen pulled the curtains closed and turned off all the lights. He checked the entire room to make sure there were no hidden cameras. You have to be careful when you're away from home.
Okay, no problem.
After checking, Lin Chen turned on the lights. Lin Xiaoqian finished washing up, and Su Mengyao was the second to take a shower. Lin Chen clearly heard the sound of splashing inside.
He had a vivid imagination and could imagine the beautiful scene inside.
He didn't know when he would be able to see the real scene.
Dad, my legs are sore. Lin Xiaoqian looked at Lin Chen pitifully. Then kiss me and I'll give you a massage. Boo. Lin Xiaoqian quickly kissed Lin Chen.
Lin Chen is now a grandmaster at mountaineering and his medical skills are also at the level of a master. These include massage techniques, and his massages are very effective.
Inside the bathroom, Su Mengyao looked coy.
She and Lin Chen were now separated by a pane of glass.
Moreover, the bathroom door was a sliding door, without a lock. In 10 minutes, Su Mengyao finished showering as quickly as she could.
Mom, Dad's massage is so comfortable.
Kiss Dad, and Dad will give you a massage. Lin Xiaoqian looked at Su Mengyao and said sweetly.
Su Mengyao's face turned slightly red. Honey, you go take a shower first.
Okay. Lin Chen nodded.
Lin Chen went to take a shower, and Yang Qingyue called on the video, Mengyao, we saw on Douyin that you reached the top of the mountain.
Are you inside the hotel now? Yes. Su Mengyao nodded.
Lin Xiaoxi slid down from the small house, Grandma, it was Daddy who carried me and Mummy up the mountain.
Daddy is a strong man. Su Mengyao face showed a touch of shyness. Cici, did you have fun climbing the mountain? Lin Xiaoxi nodded, yes, climbing the mountain was so much fun. Grandma, we slept together at night. Su Mengyao. Cici, you don't have to say that. Mom has to go now, I have something to do. Su Mengyao hung up the video call.
Cici, you can play by yourself for a while.
Mom will be back soon, you can't open the door and go out. Mom, what are you doing? You'll find out later. Su Mengyao quickly arrived at the hotel lobby. Hello, this is mine. Su Mengyao walked up to a delivery boy. Ms. Su? I need to check.
The delivery boy said. Su Mengyao had ordered this delivery and paid a 2,000 yuan delivery fee. It had taken him several hours to deliver the food.
Okay. Su Mengyao showed the delivery boy the order form.
The delivery boy opened a phone box, inside of which was a small birthday cake that had been very carefully protected.
Ms. Su, your delivery has been delivered. The delivery boy handed Su Mengyao the birthday cake.
He let out a sigh of relief. He had been very careful not to damage it on the way.
Thank you, you've worked hard.
Su Mengyao thanked him. It was worth the effort. The delivery boy beamed. It was indeed a hard trip, but the money was good. Su Mengyao carried the cake back to her room. She took out her phone and tipped the delivery boy another 1,000 yuan. She wouldn't reward him if the cake was damaged, but the birthday cake he delivered was perfect.
Mom, what's behind you? Su Mengyao entered the room and Lin Xiaoxi asked. Shoo. Su Mengyao signaled Lin Xiaoxi to be quiet. Lin Xiaoxi covered her mouth with her small hand, and Su Mengyao took out the birthday cake hidden behind her. Lin Xiaoxi's eyes lit up. Su Mengyao took out the birthday cake and lit the candles.
It wasn't long before Lin Chen finished his shower. He had not yet come out, so Su Mengyao turned off the main switch.
Cici, you must not touch the switch. There is electricity inside.
Lin Chen said as he walked out of the bathroom.
Su Mengyao lit a match and she lit the birthday cake. Cici, let's sing happy birthday to Daddy together. Su Mengyao said. Happy birthday to you, happy birthday to you.
Su Mengyao and Lin Xiaoxi sang together.
Lin Chen slowly walked towards Su Mengyao and the others.
His heart was warm.
At the top of the mountain, Su Mengyao had even arranged a birthday cake.
In the past, he had not received such good treatment on his birthday.
Chapter 188 Su Mengyao kisses Lin Chen. Husband, make a wish quickly.
After singing the birthday song, Su Mengyao said sweetly. Lin Chen closed his eyes and made a simple wish. All he asked for was the safety of his family, and nothing else.
He already had a lot. Dad, blow out the candles quickly.
Lin Xiaoxi saw Lin Chen open his eyes.
Do you want some cake? Lin Chen said with a smile, and he blew out the candles. Su Mengyao turned on the main switch, and the room lit up instantly. Honey, thank you.
Lin Chen hugged Su Mengyao and kissed her.
This time, he kissed Su Mengyao's forehead. Lin Xiaoxi looked up at Lin Chen and the others. Daddy, you can't kiss me on the mouth, and you can't kiss Mommy either? Su Mengyao quickly pounced on Lin Chen on tiptoe. Boo!
Su Mengyao's mouth kissed Lin Chen's mouth, and her face quickly turned red after the kiss, her heart pounding. Lin Chen looked at Su Mengyao in a daze.
Happy birthday, honey. Su Mengyao said, and this was one of her birthday gifts. Honey, you lie down on the bed quickly.
Lin Chen said hastily.
He noticed that Su Mengyao's heartbeat was not normal. It was already fast, but Su Mengyao's heartbeat was still accelerating. Su Mengyao lay down on the bed. Naturally, she didn't think that Lin Chen would do anything reckless now. Soon Su Mengyao's hands and feet couldn't stop trembling.
Her face, which had turned red, gradually turned pale again.
Wife, take a deep breath.
I'm here, you won't be in danger. Lin Chen said softly.
Su Mengyao trembled and said, Honey, I can't control myself. I don't want this, what's going on? Mom. Lin Xiaoxi's expression was tense.
Lin Chen held Su Mengyao's hand with one hand and hugged Lin Xiaoxi with the other. Cece, it's okay, Dad is a doctor, Mom will be fine.
Honey, take a deep breath. Slowly calm yourself down.
After 2 or 3 minutes, Su Mengyao's body stopped trembling, but her face was still a little pale.
Su Mengyao sat up. Honey, what's wrong with me? I don't think there's anything wrong with you, but...
Su Mengyao said bitterly.
Mom. Lin Xiaoxi hugged Su Mengyao tightly.
Lin Chen said, honey, mental illness is more or less schizophrenic, and in particularly severe cases, a second personality can even develop.
You haven't developed a second personality, so it's not particularly severe.
Special circumstances have stimulated the dormant part of your consciousness.
Su Mengyao's eyebrows were knitted.
Lin Chen reassured her, honey, don't take it too personally. In fact, normal people are also somewhat schizophrenic. For example, when going to work, deep down, one part of the mind says it doesn't want to go, while another part says it wants to go to work and make money. These two parts are contradictory.
Normal people are just able to fully control their minds. Su Mengyao muttered, it seemed like nothing was wrong before. Lin Chen, people have the ability to adapt.
After the threshold is raised, your brain will ignore some situations. You just broke that threshold when you kissed me.
It's okay, it's not a big deal.
Your situation is already much better than before.
Lin Xiaoqian's eyes were filled with tears. Daddy, is Mommy sick? Can you cure her? Lin Chen kissed Lin Xiaoqian. Of course I can, Xiaoqian. Daddy is a very good doctor. Daddy is the best. Lin Xiaoxi said. Lin Chen stood up. Does anyone want some cake?
Anyone who wants some cake, raise your hand, I'm going to cut the cake.
Dad, me. Hubby, I'll have a small piece. Su Mengyao and the others quickly got out of bed and said.
Cece, you should give the first piece to your mother.
Mom bought the cake.
Wife, your birthday present is great. Lin Chen gave the first piece of cake to Su Mengyao.
Su Mengyao's face showed a shy expression.
She knew that Lin Chen wasn't talking about the courtyard or the birthday cake, but about the kiss just now.
Dad, I want a big piece. Lin Xiaoxi said.
Lin Chen cut a bigger piece for Lin Xiaoxi. Sisai, on your birthday, Dad will make one for you, and Dad's should taste even better.
Dad, how many days until my birthday? Lin Xiaoxi asked hopefully.
Lin Chen laughed, your birthday is still far away, but even if it's not your birthday, you usually have other delicious things.
Lin
Xiaoqian smiled sweetly.
Soon Lin Xiaoqian tasted the cake. She only ate a small portion. In the past, she quite liked it, but after getting used to the food Lin Chen made, this taste was very average. Half an hour later, Lin Xiaoqian fell asleep listening to the story. Wife, let's go to sleep too. We still have to get up early tomorrow to watch the sunrise.
Lin Chen said with a smile.
The
two of them went to bed and slept on either side of Lin Xiaoqian. Lin Chen heard Su Mengyao's heart beating faster, but compared to the heartbeat just now, this one didn't have many problems.
Hubby, I want to hear a story too.
Su Mengyao said coquettishly.
Okay.
Lin Chen began to tell the story, and Su Mengyao's heartbeat gradually eased. She was tired today too and fell asleep soon.
Lin Chen also fell asleep quickly after not sleeping last night. Drip, drip. At 4 a.m. the alarm went off.
Lin Chen opened his eyes, and Su Mengyao also woke up groggily.
Good morning, my dear.
Lin Chen said with a smile.
Good morning, my dear. Su Mengyao blushed.
Yesterday morning they only slept for 2 hours, but last night they slept together properly. Although there was Lin Xiaoxi in the bed.
Half an hour passed.
Lin Chen and the others waited at the place where they had watched the sunrise. A red sun gradually rose from the horizon.
It's so beautiful. Lin Xiaoxi exclaimed. Hello handsome, can you take a picture of us?
Lin Chen said to a young man next to him.
The young man nodded repeatedly. Sure, Lin, I know you, you're my idol, you were able to carry 2 people up the mountain, I would have had trouble walking by myself. Lin Chen smiled slightly and didn't say anything.
Without the system, it would be hard for him to climb up here on his own. The young man quickly took a photo of Lin Chen and the others. In the photo, Lin Chen was holding Lin Xiaoqian in his right arm and Su Mengyao in his left, and they were both smiling sweetly.
Thank you.
Lin Chen and Su Mengyao said in unison.
Thank you, uncle.
Lin Xiaoqian also said sweetly.
You're welcome.
The young man was full of envy. Marrying a beautiful and wealthy woman was his dream, and Lin Chen had already made it come true.
Lin Ge, you have to be careful. It seems that someone is blackmailing you online. I feel like there are internet trolls setting the pace.
The young man reminded him. Su Mengyao took Lin Xiaoqian from Lin Chen's hands. Xiaoqian, mommy will hold you for a while, let's go over there and have a look.
Lin Chen asked, handsome guy, what's going on?
The young man said, Lin Ge, you're my idol, I watched a lot of your videos last night. It's normal to leave comments in the comment section. Some people are envious and jealous, but they're not in the majority. The situation was different this morning. The number of people blackmailing you has increased tenfold.
Lin Chen inquires suspiciously, what are they blackmailing me about?
The young man says, mainly that you are not good enough for Su Mengyao.
But I think you are.
She has money and you are in good health, a perfect match.
Lin Chen.